What's up everyone out there in YouTube land? It's me, Barry Lovewhistle, and I'm back on Akkadian in Project Quarm. And as you can see, I am back in Felwith. I have made it to level 33 in the last couple of weeks, and I've got some equipment that I want to talk about, but I'm going to do that after the quest, because I got lucky and I got some help yesterday to get me set up for the quest that I want to do, which is the Mystic Cloak quest, which technically starts here in Felwith. I'll talk about my new equipment upgrades after the quest, because this is the important part of today's video. So technically, the quest starts out with Torkar Parlone, and luckily, he's already amiable with me, which is good. That means that I can do this quest. If you are not amiable with him, you can do the Batwings quest, which I was actually expecting to not be amiable with him so that I could show off that, but it's a really easy quest. You just buy Batwings. There are a couple of vendors that sell Batwings off their normal inventory, not from newbies selling them to newbie vendors, and you go into Southern Felwith and give them to one of the NPCs there. But Torkar Parlone already likes me, so I can start this quest now. As you can see, he is staring longingly out at the water in Felwith. When you hail him, he talks about how he's worried about his daughter. And then he says his daughter's name is Linara, and he hasn't seen her in several months. He fears for the worst. She went off adventuring, even though I told her how dangerous it was. And if you ask the right combination of words, you can get him to talk a little bit more about where his daughter actually went. And he says she mentioned something about lava. So there is only one place in the original 3 continents where we can get lava. And that is, of course, the Lava Storm Mountains. And if I didn't have the wiki, I could easily just run all over this zone looking for anything unusual. Oh, hey, there's the Goblin Runner. That's for a quest in the Dark Elf City. But obviously, if she's missing, she's gotten herself into trouble. And there are 3 dungeons next to this zone where she could have gotten herself into trouble. But only one of them has a prison, which brings me back to Najina. Now, the last time I was in here was to get my J-boots. I was barely level 20, and it was a really annoying zone, mainly because there were skeletons that were green to me and still attacking me. Now that I am level 33, even those green skeletons shouldn't be an issue to me. They'll probably attack me, but I should be able to just nuke them and not have any issues. And there is a group camping Drelsna right now, so it should be pretty easy to get in past the tentacle terrors. Because okay, this is all good. wrong turn. Turn right. Okay. And down here is a prison. Perfect time for my invisibility to wear off. Oh good, there is someone in here killing Moosh. So, Lunaria Parlone is over there in this cell. She can see invis, apparently. And you can open up the key to her cell using the guard's keyring off of Moosh. Or you can drop into it from above, or break into it through this hole right here. There's a couple of options. Let's see, if she can see invis, that means... So she is looking for help. She has been bound in this horrid place. She says, Najina's priest had the key. I fear he has left this place, traveling to some estate. Well, all the way back on Fadewar is the Estate of Unrest, where there is a priest of Najina. He is a rare spawn. Any magician, necromancer, and probably enchanter in their mid-30s could solo the priest of Najina. He is a caster and a healer, so I had to get some help. Thanks again, Zion, for helping me, but I did get him and got his tarnished bronze key. So I heard he's traveling to some estate. I shall never leave this place. Well, Lenara, here is your freedom. Give her the key, and she says, take this note to my father. I'm sure he will reward you well for my safety. By the way, make sure to consider her before giving the key. If she is KOS, even if you do a feign death, apparently she eats the key. So that would be really frustrating. But I've got a note to take back to her father, which means I have to get back to Fadewar. Perfect timing, too, because apparently they are killing Lunara. And back here in Felwith, I turn in the note to Tolkar Parlone and get a faded cloak, which I can wear. It's 5 AC, not bad. At 5 AC, it's actually an upgrade from nothing. But I am kind of curious. Item lore, faded cloak. Okay, so it doesn't have any lore. But Tolkar says, oh, she did get herself into some trouble. Thank you for rescuing her. Yeah, we're just going to leave out the part where I watched somebody kill her just for the faction hit. Take this old cloak. Its power has faded, but if you bring it to my wife, she might be able to do something for you. She's studying in Irudin. Excellent. I can get to Irudin real fast. And up in the Irudin Palace, in the Craft Keeper's Tower, among all of the erudites, there is one high elf, Trilani Parlone. When you hail her, she begins asking about her husband. He still lives in Felwith while I study here. It must be hard on him. Yes, long-distance relationships in EverQuest. They must be rough. Maybe after you're a few hundred years old, they get easier. But I give her this cloak, and I get the Mystic Cloak. Now, it does have 10 charges of Steel Skin, which is the level 34 Wizard Harm Shield. It'll absorb 230 HP of damage before damage actually reaches me. But what I want it for is this 5 intelligence and 5 magic resist. This is actually the best in-slot back item for intelligence casters until the planes open, which is going to be tomorrow. So a big thanks to everybody who helped me get that key. That was a huge pain in the butt. And if anybody is watching who was in that group who unfortunately got trained during my first attempt at killing the Priest of Najena, I am sorry. Now, of course, the Mystic Cloak itself is a huge upgrade, but it's not the only huge upgrade I want to talk about. I was out of town the last few weeks and only had my laptop to play on, but that meant that I could do some nice AFK farming, which allowed me to get the last 2 legacy items that I really cared about, because they're the 2 legacy items that are most useful to me as an erudite wizard. One of them is the Fishbone Earring. This drops off of Haddon, and it's still going to drop after the legacy period is over, but it's going to be much harder to get. The respawn time is going to extend, the drop rate is going to lower, potentially. It might not be the case, but it is an Enduring Breath earring. Having some item that gives you water breathing is really important for all the classes that don't have something of their own that gives water breathing, which is wizards, clerics, paladins, and all melee classes. This is really important to me. The other one I got was my Guise of the Deceiver, and actually I'm going to step away from the guards real quick to show off this one. The Guise of the Deceiver can only be equipped by a bard or a rogue, but it has a click effect of Illusion Dark Elf, which can be clicked from inventory. Which not only makes it so that I can walk around evil cities and sell, as long as I don't ruin my faction. Oh, hey, look, the guards are still kindly to me. I did enough factioning in here that even as a Dark Elf, I can go to Iridan. But it also gives me Dark Elf Ultra Vision. So this is really useful for anybody who wants to sell in evil cities, or any human, barbarian, or erudite who has no night vision. And actually, I'm kind of curious. As a Dark Elf, I wonder if I can go into the Cat City. Great opportunity to test out the earring. As you can see, I have the air remaining bubble that pops up when I'm not wearing it. And when I put it on, it goes away. Infinite water breathing. The Karens are ready to attack when I am an erudite, and they are ready to attack when I am a Dark Elf. So there is still no doing quests in here for an erudite. But that's alright, because there is an event zone open right now, which you get to through this Plane of Knowledge pillar in the tunnel in East Commonlands. By the way, big shout out to Secrets for doing these. We are now at our 2nd event, and this server is only 3 months old. These events have just some custom content. It's nothing game breaking, but it's an interesting way of breaking up the monotony of early EverQuest. But in this case, it's Hallis, the barbarian city, and a bunch of high-level ice goblins spawn here. So it says you entered the Domain of Frost, and it's a bunch of custom drops, most notably the Box of Abu Kar, which I haven't gotten yet. But one thing that drops here that I thought was interesting is the Karen toy. So I managed to scoop up one of those without having to do the quest, and I got that 2 agility which meant that I could take off my 2 agility earring and permanently wear my fishbone earring. So that's all of the really cool equipment upgrades that I've gotten. Now, like I said, I haven't gotten that box of Abukar, so I'm going to see if I can get a group and scoop one up today. So until next time, bye!